Hey everybody, welcome to another comic book review. And actually, on today's review, I'm going to be actually reviewing a set, if you want to call it that. It's a four-parter called OMNITARIUM by Jamie Gambell. I was thinking of reviewing them individually, each issue, but I figured the arc is four issues, and I figured what the heck, may as well go in there and just talk about each one, but all in one video and sum it up as the story starts and stops. So basically, before I get into it too much, I'm a big fan of independent comics, and I will be getting to some Marvel and DC stuff, but I still think that independent comics need a voice, and I'm trying to do my best with what I have, so I wanted to introduce some of the things to you. So basically the story starts off, as you can see, in 1772, so it goes back quite a ways. Right away you can tell, and the way I did as well, when I was first introduced to this book, it was, from how I was introduced was, it was a webcomic. And the art jumped out at me right away. It's very dynamic, very unique. I don't know too many other people that draw in this kind of style. It's very sharp, angular. It's aggressive. It's aggressive art. At first, I may have looked at it and thought, it wasn't my bag. But after rereading, or actually reading the entire series, I enjoyed it a lot. I will give some cons right now, get them out of the way before we keep going. I'm actually re-looking at issue 1, and the art, there's certain moments here where the detail is fantastic. Let me see if I can show the panels a little bit more. The art's actually really, really good here. It's the same artist all the way through, but what it seems to me is around issue 3, and I'll show you guys the covers as well, because I know everybody likes the covers. Issue 3, it seems like it gets a little bit more rushed, a little bit more, I don't want to say sloppy, but it is very busy. And I think this artist would really benefit if there was a colorist working with them, or if perhaps they took a little bit more time in structuring their blacks and their whites. I'd probably say I've had a handful of moments while I was reading this where I kind of got lost in exactly what was going on, and a lot of the characters tended to look the same. So sometimes I'd have to reread a panel or two just to go back to understand exactly what's going on. Other than that, everything else about it was a really wild ride. We're dealing with this character here, who, from my understanding in the beginning, he was just a murderer or a killer or something. Again, back in 1772, there's a big grouping here, a big presentation of him being hung, like they used to do back in the day. You'd have your public hangings and stuff, and that goes through. And there's this character here, and I actually forget his name. Oh, is it Lord Bluestein? I can always never pronounce those right. But and that's another thing too that I was kind of disappointed about a little bit. I know all the way through who the villain is, but the hero, he's introduced here, but he actually doesn't show back up until the end of issue 3, which is cool in a storytelling way, because what it does is it kind of lets you know, regular people are fighting the main bad guy, or the things that the bad guy is summoning, and they're not winning. So what's going to happen? Who's going to save them? And eventually, the hero shows up again, and he cleans house, and it does wrap up well. And I know basically everything I've said so far probably sounds like a big negative, and then I really don't want it to come across that way, because there's clearly a lot of work that went into this. The art style definitely grows on you. There's moments where it's really shining. It's just I wish the artist maybe took a little bit more time to help separate the characters and just their blacks and the whites. Those are the big things that I can talk about here. But other than that, again, I don't want to go in circles, and I know I already am, but I definitely think this is worth a pickup, at least to even just check out to read. Again, I'll include all the links and stuff at the bottom of the video. And I'm more than sure, I haven't checked before while I was recording this, but all of the pages are online on the webcomic. So, you can always try it before you buy it. And that's one of the wonderful things about a lot of independent comics, is people are willing to do that, so you can really test out the waters. One other thing I will note, too, is once I started issue 1, I'm wondering if the artist actually did all the work digital, like all the inks digital as well. And I'm looking at this page, and actually in issue 4, I'm not sure, it's the same artist, I know that guaranteed, but it looks like they did the entire page from start to finish in Photoshop. And there's a wonderful book. If I get the name wrong, it's the right type of thing. The DC Guide to Drawing Comics Digitally. I definitely say check it out. I've picked it up, and it's a wonderful book. I'll do a review for that a little bit later. But again, I can see an improvement towards the end of issue 4 with the storytelling and the pacing. The action's really boom, boom, it's going. You know, it hits all the marks that it needs to. Some things do become a little confusing, but it's definitely worth a read. Definitely worth a read. And if there's one thing that I will say that's really awesome about this, is at the end of each issue, Jamie does an afterword. And I mean, this kind of stuff here is done in Marvel, or not really Marvel, but I've seen it a lot in image books back in the 90s, where they would say, you know, like, hey, thanks for reading the book and all this cool stuff. But Jamie actually talks about a lot of really cool things about there, you know, bringing up things that he's come across while he was doing this project, all the hardships and all the awesome stuff that came from doing it. But again, definitely check it out. I'll include the link once more time at the bottom. But yeah, OMNITARIUM. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. There was a little things that I've continually talked about throughout the review that I thought maybe could use some improvements. But to be honest, you know, I have seen quite a bit of independent comics, and the quality is definitely here. You know, I'm just going to show you guys the covers as well. So this was issue 1. Here we go with issue 2. And I'm going to try to find a link to the artist as well, so you guys can check out his work, because it does grow on you, and it's a very bold and aggressive style. And I really dug it. By the time of issue 4, when I was done reading it, I thought it was, you know, top-notch stuff. Top-notch stuff. So there you go. There's a very mild review of OMNITARIUM, Jamie Gambell, the writer. And yeah, so check it out. See what you guys think. And I will catch you in the next review, guys. Take care, and have a great day.